The last and final day of the Washington Commanders' mandatory minicamp practices are officially in the books. And with that being said, guys, we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from another practice here in Washington. Jayden Daniels looking good once again. What a surprise, right? We're going to break it all down for you in this video. Before we jump in, though, I want to give a massive shout out, like we always do, right, to all of the Commanders media team out there who work so hard each and every single day to get these highlights out for us and, you know, kind of enable us to make these videos. Without them, these videos are not possible to make. So make sure you guys go follow them on Twitter if you haven't already done so. And you know what? They will be covering you through a training camp as well. So will I. So go follow them for real-time highlights and news from around training camp throughout the entirety of the offseason. Now, with that being said, let's dive into today's practice. Now, one of the most important things about today's practice was Jayden Daniels looked like an absolute beast, right? They went through red zone drills. He was working with the ones once again. Dude had an unbelievable throw to Terry McLaurin for a touchdown in between multiple defenders. It was probably the highlight of today's practice. Now, unfortunately, we do not have, the highlights of those 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s because the media isn't allowed to record those yet. So once they are able to, we'll get more of those for training camp and whatnot going forward. But there was also another insane catch by Davion Davis. Unbelievable touchdown grab. I believe Marcus Mariota was the quarterback for that play, but Davion Davis is a guy who's been slowly, making plays from the start of OTAs to now. This man is actually making a name for himself, and that was probably one of the best catches I've seen in all of camp so far. Mariota, nice throw, but an incredible catch by Davion Davis. Want to continue to see him do better and better as time goes on, and could be underrated and maybe a guy to potentially make the 53-man. It might not happen, but we'll see what happens going forward. Another big one, Jayden Daniels to Brian Robinson, dropped it on in a bucket right over a couple of defenders in the arms of Brian Robinson. Unbelievable throw once again. You talk about Jayden Daniels, and I feel like I've mentioned this over the past couple of weeks here, but the man's the first one in the building, 5:30 in the morning, gets there, pre-workout, gets going, and then gets onto the practice field. Last one to leave. This dude is so locked in right now, man. I am so happy that he went to Washington because the Commanders deserve a guy like this. Commanders fans deserve to have a guy like Jayden Daniels here, and he is going to be a massive player for them for a very long time. We also are seeing Jayden Daniels build rapport, build connections with Zach Ertz in 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, targeting him, well frequently because he is a safety net for him so far. And I do like to see that. Want to see those guys, continue to build that rapport as time goes on. Now, before we finish off today's practice and break down a couple of other things, including a massive Quay Martin big time play from him. I mean, unbelievable. Or Quan Martin. I don't know why I say Quay. Quan Martin, unbelievable catch, interception in day 2 of practice. Before we talk about that, make sure you guys do me a big favor. Hit that like button. That way we can get this video out to more Commanders fans. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And guys, get this. We're going to be covering the Commanders throughout the entirety of the offseason. Not only for OTAs, but mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season, everything you could think of, we've got you guys covered. Join the family. It is free. Doesn't cost anything. Lastly, if you check out my Twitch, we will be live streaming some Commanders games on there, kind of reacting to the game with you guys. It's Matty Dubs with 3 S's, or you can find the link in the description below. We're talking about, Quan Martin. Another guy looked good as well, right? Castro Fields made a really, really good PBU against Dax Millen, or Moline. Don't know how to say his name correctly, but I think that's how you say it. But I made a really, really nice play in 11-on-11, 7-on-7s. Like always getting into, the catch radius and making sure it is a tough time for the receivers to pull in, a bunch of these throws, right? So that was another one of the big takeaways. I thought he had a really underrated practice. And, even Dan Quinn after practice said that Jayden has a really good handle on what they're teaching him, but is also, possesses the observation that he knows he has a lot to work on. He has a lot of things that he needs to get better on every single day, and I think he's taken that approach almost every single practice. Now, like we said, Quan Martin is a guy who has been outperforming Emmanuel Forbes from the jump. This is a guy who looks like he could be a difference maker throughout the next couple of years here for this Washington Commanders team. And through mandatory minicamp so far, he has opened up eyes everywhere. And man, he is confident. He knows the talent that he possesses, and he made an unbelievable interception in day 2 of practice. And I think he's going to be such a good scheme fit for guys like, Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. Their defense needs guys to create opportunities for turnovers, and Quan Martin is a guy that is going to allow them to get those opportunities, right? So Quan Martin's probably been one of the most impressive guys so far this offseason. So I want to continue to see him ramp it up. We also saw Frankie Louvu, dude. This dude didn't practice day 2, but you can tell he is determined to be one of the best players on this football team, and he's been getting mentored by Bobby Wagner. So I think that is a major piece of, his development going forward. But Frankie Louvu has already shown energy, leadership, and, insane types of talent from sideline to sideline. I'm so excited for Frankie Louvu. He's learned from Shaq Thompson in the past as well. So I'm excited to see him. We're also seeing rookie Luke McCaffrey, his versatility, getting some handoffs in the backfield, working in the slot, working on the outside. I mean, this dude is a rookie, and he looks like he is a standout so far. In practice, working with Anthony Lynn in the running backs, taking handoffs, showcasing his ability to potentially even be a contributor in the running back room, which, who knows if that's actually going to happen. But hey, his brother Christian McCaffrey tends to be able to do it really well. Good pass catcher out the backfield. Luke McCaffrey, can he be similar? Don't really want to compare him, but hey, who knows, man? That dude looks like he is a versatile, dynamic beast. So I'm excited to see him continue to grow as time goes on. And then overall, man, you just talk about the mindset of this football team. It is different. The energy, the aura, everything regarding this Washington Commanders team, from the coaching staff to the front office to the players, the backups, the guys who might not make the team, and the guys who are really on the back end of the depth chart here. Everyone just has a positive outlook of this season coming up, and they all just feel good. They're happy. They're working hard. They're putting in the work, and they are really expecting to have a big season this year, man. And the aura has never been this way in Washington, or at least for a very long time. Big shout out to Adam Peters. Big shout out to Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Witt, and Larry Izzo, man. These guys are taking control and making this Washington Commanders team so much more positive, man, than it has been in a long time. So big shout out to those guys. Practice has been amazing. I cannot wait for training camp. Things are looking good for the Washington Commanders. Guys, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next Commanders update. Peace.